Thanks for joining us tonight at 9. First on Fox, protesters confront ICE agents today outside of an immigration court in Phoenix.
There was pushing and shoving when several people were detained by immigration officials and escorted out of the court in handcuffs. Fox 10's Kenzie Beach is live tonight with more on what happened. Kenzie.
Yeah, we're learning today was the second day that people were detained by ICE agents in and outside of this immigration court behind me. It also happened yesterday, but today protesters were confronting these ICE agents, at one point even blocking the ICE van that was holding detainees. Immigration attorneys tell me this is unprecedented. Masked agents detained people leaving Phoenix Immigration Court for a second day. Protesters pushing, shoving, and even blocking the van.
So we just witnessed ICE taking out 3 men, I believe.
They think that we're gonna just run off and be scared, but we're not. We're protecting each other.
Immigration attorney Isaac Ortega's client from Venezuela had just appeared in court. His case was terminated, and with an appeal in hand, never had the chance to file it.
We just had planned everything and was okay, ready, break, and then he, walked right into the arms of these federal agents.
For 3 decades, Nick Suriel has practiced immigration law in Phoenix, saying this federal shift goes against the book of law.
This idea that there's gray in whether or not this is the law, there is no gray area. This is the law of the land.
The Immigration and Nationality Act has been in place since 1952 in the U.S.
This is the law. People have to show up to court and present their cases. We should allow them to do so. These are people complying, showing up for hearings. That's a good thing, right? And so that's changed now.
Now, I asked Suriel what he's telling clients that have upcoming court dates. He says it's the first time in 3 decades that he's been unsure, not able to give them an answer. But he says he has made phone calls to multiple clients with upcoming court dates, letting them know that they could be detained here by federal agents. Reporting live, Kenzie Beach, Fox 10 News.
The search for a missing hiker in Scottsdale comes to a tragic end. Crews found 31-year-old Hannah Moody's body near the McDowell-Sonoran Preserve.
And our Lauren Clark is live now with what loved ones are saying about Hannah. Lauren.
Well, Ellen and John, this is just an absolute tragedy for people who loved Hannah. They say that she felt most at home and most at ease on these desert trails. In fact, she had hiked these trails multiple times before. She was last seen alive around 11:30 Wednesday morning on the Gateway Trail heading towards Tom's Thumb.
This is the last video of Hannah Moody doing what she loved. Shortly after her Instagram post Wednesday morning, she went missing. On Thursday morning, helicopters flew over the looming McDowell Preserve Mountains as hikers noticed the rescue crews working to find Hannah huddled near the Gateway Trailhead entrance.
It's hard to imagine having to be out here overnight.
It's really scary. Friends describe Hannah as someone with a big heart, most at home at the desert trails.
She loves the outdoors. If you could put her anywhere in the world and she would be happiest, it would be outside in nature.
In this Wednesday Instagram video, Hannah is all smiles. She wrote that she wanted to get in one last hike before summer, adding that she had about 5 gallons of water with her. She often posted about her hiking trails on her growing social media page, where she also talked at length about her faith.
Trying just to stay positive and hopeful that they're going to find her, and that she's out there and that we're going to find her.
Earlier Thursday, her friends gathered near the trail before the heartbreaking discovery. They stressed Hannah was an experienced hiker who was always prepared.
Does hikes literally weekly like this, so she knows what to do.
Now, Scottsdale police at this time, they're not revealing any details about the circumstances of Hannah's death. However, they have confirmed that foul play is not suspected. Reporting live in Scottsdale, Lauren Clark, Fox 10 News.
Turning to an update on a violent night that we had on Monday, which we reported 3 deadly shootings in the span of 2 hours.
So in one of those shootings, a Gilbert man is accused of killing a landscaper at his home he rents. Happened near Power and Germain Roads. Police say 28-year-old Wyatt Ford opened fire after getting into an argument with a landscaper who was there to trim trees. Landscaper identified as 51-year-old Manuel Lopez. Ford has now been charged with a felony count of second-degree murder.
A young Phoenix man said to be a member of a criminal group called the Hyundai Boys is under arrest. Police took 18-year-old Joshua Hicks into custody on Friday in Scottsdale, where they say that he was seen getting out of a stolen car. Detectives say Hicks and several other people have stolen Kias, Hyundais, and high-end cars all across the valley during the past couple of years, and the losses are estimated at more than $800,000. Investigators say that Hicks told them he would not stop stealing cars.
You've been arrested for theft of means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, burglary in the 3rd degree, Class 4 felony, 2 counts of theft, Class 1 misdemeanors.
And police say members of the Hyundai Boys also endanger the community by speeding on public streets, doing donuts, and handling guns. A judge set a cash-only bond of $50,000.
Arrested in Peoria, accused of attempting to lure a minor online, and he was reported to police by an online vigilante group. 67-year-old James Shoemake is accused of sending sexually explicit material to vigilantes posing as minors on a dating app. That vigilante group then drove from New Mexico to the valley to confront Shoemake and then called police. In a police interview, he admitted that he believed the person he was talking to online was 14.
A surprised family tells Fox 10 that they can't even sleep in their own bed because they're afraid a car will come plowing right through their wall. How they're getting the message out has caused a lot of attention. So we sent Steve Nielsen to take a closer look.
Driving down the road, you can see the problem. All of a sudden, you hit a near 90-degree turn, and if you miss it, you end up right in their backyard. Some might say the sign is overboard, but for Melissa and Ryan, it sends a clear message. Eventually, somebody's going to die. It's inevitable. It's not if this is going to happen again. It's when it's going to happen again. City of Surprise, do we have to die to fix the road? 18 and counting. That's the number of crashes they claim have happened outside and even inside their home.
It's sad when you're not feeling safe in your own home.
They have countless photos and videos of the remains of those crashes.
The first car that crashed through, he ended up about 4 or 5 feet away from where I was sitting at my kitchen table with my kids. He sideswiped the house, the window shattered in behind me and the kids, and we had to run because we didn't know what was happening.
They're located at a sharp bend in the road where Saraval Northwest Ranch Parkway meet. 25 miles per hour speed limit. They say cars lose control and instead of turning, hit their wall. We can't sleep in our master bedroom at all.
Melissa, are you on the line?
After a particularly bad crash, Melissa spoke at a surprise city council meeting in 2021.
We're not safe in our own house, and another car just crashed in here.
If somebody's standing back there and a car comes through there, those cinder blocks are going to hit them, or the vehicle's going to hit them.
or they're going to go through my house. We reached out to the city of Surprise to see if they agree the corner's a problem or if anything's being done to address it. We didn't hear back. That's part of the reason why they wanted to make this sign. Get attention, and maybe
something will be done. Maybe this will make them do something.
We're hoping. Steve Nielsen, Fox 10 News.
Well, now we've got the latest on the Greer Fire burning in eastern Arizona. Fire crews telling us they have made progress in the firefight. The fire has burned over 20,000 acres, now about 40% contained. So that's good news. Over the weekend, Governor Hobbs declared a state of emergency due to strong winds fueling the flames. That continues today as well. 736 personnel are fighting that fire. Cause is not known.
New video first obtained by the Sedona Red Rock News shows 4 men vandalizing Cathedral Rock outside Sedona. Now, it happened on Tuesday around 10 a.m. The person who recorded that video says that they were laughing and joking and likely saw the witness filming them, but continued carving on the rock. One of the suspects was wearing a black hat with the TCU logo, Texas Christian University logo. If you know any of the men, you're being asked now to call the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office.
Now on to an update on a deadly shooting that's under investigation at a bar in the West Valley.
This was last night in Peoria, 95th and Peoria Avenues. We took that press conference live at the top of the 7 o'clock hour here. We do have some new information from the authorities. Officers say they were called out to Deli Sports Bar around 11:30 last night. They were told staff at the bar refused service to an individual who was extremely intoxicated. They were escorted out of the building, and that's when police say they went to their car, and that person did, and grabbed a gun.
Once he retrieved a firearm, he fired multiple shots in the air and then decided to fire multiple shots inside the business.
Police go on to say that folks inside the bar took action, firing shots back at that suspect, where they were pronounced dead at the scene. Another person was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, but was then later released. Police say this does seem to be an isolated incident. There is no threat to the community.
Second, everyone, community cares. 22 years can seem like a lifetime when you work the same job, year after year, day after day, week after week. Well, that's how long one Valley principal has been dedicated to his school, staff, and students. While Mark Anderson has been an educator for 31 years, he spent more than 2 decades of his career as principal at Highland Lakes. As he prepares to retire, he also prepares to leave behind a legacy.
You can hear me, clap once.
It's clear Mark Anderson is respected by his students.
Everybody having a good day? Yeah.
But what's more obvious is how much they love their principal.
Have a great day. Have a great day. I think they'd say I'm pretty cool. I do not like to be in my office. I like to be out. I like to be around kids. I greet them in the morning. I say goodbye to them at the end of the day. I'm down at lunches. How we doing, guys? Everybody having a good day? So far, so good?
Not a morning has gone by in 21 years that Anderson hasn't greeted his students.
Many times I think that kids, their most positive influence and their most positive interactions throughout the day are with their teachers or staff.
He was just shy of turning 27 when he first walked through the doors of Highland Lake School himself, hired on as an assistant principal, and soon after became the principal.
I was scared to death, literally scared to death. There were teachers on this campus that had been teaching as long as I'd been alive. Yeah. So it was very intimidating. And so, you know, people say, well, how did you overcome that? And really, I took an approach like, listen, we're going to learn from each other.
He's been my only principal, my only boss ever. And I'm sad to see him leave. This is going to be sad.
Having a good day?
Ashley Vickers started teaching 5th grade language arts at Highland Lakes right after her principal took the job. She's been there for 20 years and says once Mark Anderson retires, things won't be the same.
He's very supportive, very kind, very loving. I call him the teacher whisperer because, you know, days are hard. It's not easy being a teacher, and sometimes you come in to talk to him. He just calms you down.
The students are just as impacted by Anderson, anticipating what lies ahead without him.
He's awesome. He's just the best principal I've ever had. I just trust him. He's a trustful person.
He's very nice. I mean, every time I'm around him, I feel good energy. I don't feel bad about anything. I never feel not welcomed. I feel very welcomed. I feel since kindergarten.
I care about them, and they know I care about them, and they know that whatever I'm giving them, it's because they made a mistake, and we're not going to make that same mistake. I always say the biggest mistake is making the same mistake twice. Don't do it again.
There's a saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
I promise to follow you.
Annual events like the Q&U wedding.
So that all of our words,
a lesson in the English language,
may be spelled correctly.
Cultivate a sense of community, creating memories for generations of students.
I was one of the first students of the school, and now I work at Deer Valley, so that was like a weird transition. Some of my first emails, I was like, "Hi, Mr. Anderson," and my boss this time was like, "Okay, he's not your principal anymore. You have to like figure this out."
You know, your career, you feel like you make a difference. You feel like you've made the world a little better place. But like now that I'm retiring, it's very apparent that there's a lot of lives that I touched.
A difference that can be felt among staff and students, one that can be seen in Anderson himself. Look at these class pictures throughout the years.
Mixed emotions. Bittersweet. I feel like I'm handing my 22-year-old child over to someone else to raise. I mean, these are my family members. I mean, I've come to this place for 22 years, and letting go has been harder than I thought it was going to be.
As another school year ends, Anderson prepares to say goodbye. He will retire on June 5th, taking with him what he calls one of the greatest gifts he's ever received.
Almost everything in here has been given to me, and the way I look at it is if a student gives it to me, or a parent or a teacher gives it to me, I put it up and it doesn't come down.
Anderson, in turn, is leaving a lasting impression. Words of wisdom he repeated every single day, every time he offered advice or encouragement.
Make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.
Make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.
Yeah. Oh. Right? And that's it.
Story.
There's signs everywhere. He wears a shirt that says it. And I was texting with him after I left and said thank you, invited him on the stream. And that's what he said. Make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. That little girl that was like, I love you. I know. Bye. And they do. So the kids cute. do. Just walking around the halls, none of that was staged. Walking around the halls, those are the legit reactions of the students. And it's so neat to see what an impact he had. Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you for all you've done. What a great story. Thank you, Anita.